come on in and join us. For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
So
Kathy and I were just talking about how it's been kind of a whirlwind of busy energy, but in a good way. And while we're waiting for people to come on, I can let everybody know that part of this momentum of energy building up, I feel, is the full moon that we have this Thursday. So
yay!
days from now, we got a full moon in Leo, and this full moon in Leo is about creative self-expression and shining your light to the world. It's owning your leadership and just really putting yourself out there in a positive, gregarious, and generous kind of way. And I have to say that this full moon I'm really excited about, not just because I have a Leo moon, but because it's opposing Jupiter in Aquarius. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion and blessings. And so, as Kathy and I have been talking about this momentum of energy and whirlwind of things and feeling overwhelmed, but yet in a good way because there's a lot of positive things happening, I feel like this full moon coming up in Leo is going to just expand some of that positivity, especially for those of you that are putting out your creative expression to the world, whether it be through speaking, teaching, writing, also in connecting and networking with other people of like mind to collaborate on projects, which Kathy and I have been doing as well. So it's a full moon that supports all of those wonderful things. Hi, Brenna. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Diana.
Hi, Cheryl. Hi, everybody. Brenna, Diana, Shelley.
Oh, hi,
Just say hi
Cheryl.
to
I just
everybody. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, it's exciting though. I mean, it's really exciting. And the more you can focus on the creative aspect, I think just what I was getting from today, as long as I stayed in my focused mind with the things I was doing around my business, creating new things, expanding new awareness, things like that, the more comfortable I felt going through this energy, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I'm
So
I'm
I was like,
super I'm super excited because I pulled a couple of cards for our event tonight. I always like to see what the flavor of energy is all about for us as far as the collective and when we get together and do these events and two cards came out of my yin yang oracle deck here. And the first card was trust in divine time.
yep,
And the second card that came with it was cycles of completion and
nice.
that word change in the middle with the beautiful butterfly. So, all together, I feel like this is a very positive message for the collective. We're in cycles of change. We're completing old cycles on a collective level, and the universe is asking us to trust in the divine timing of what's unfolding and what's taking place. Trust in the unknown because we don't know, and it's rare that we know everything that's happening. We have to trust what we don't necessarily see with our physical eyes. We have to trust that this whole experience, whether it's an experience that you're having on a personal level or that we are all having on the collective level, we have to trust that we're moving in the right direction, that we're supported through the changes that have come and the changes that are coming. And I really feel like there's positive things coming.
Absolutely. It's showing the soul tree, but the first card that actually came out was focus, was
Mm-hmm.
focusing on, and it seems like the person is really going within and up, like as above, so below kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And then the soul tree card came out right after it, which is of course now grounding in your true essence. To me, this is my interpretation of these cards. Grounding in the true essence of who you are and who you are meant to be here. And then of course, you know me, I have to pull from another deck. So going along with what Colleen said, flexibility,
Oh, yeah.
definitely flexibility,
Mm-hmm.
and happiness and openness were the other two that came out, which the happiness one I just love because it's dolphins
Oh,
in
I
the ocean,
love
and
the dolphins.
I love that interpretation. So it's kind of like, the more that you can ground yourself in who you truly are, just where you are at this moment. You don't have to know everything about yourself.
Absolutely.
Just trust and believe that it's all going to come together and that you're going to be able to figure it out. And the more that you stay inside yourself, not meaning to hibernate within yourself, because I'll just say that, but the more that you can go within to start cleaning out what's going on in there, going to your shadow side of yourself and going through all of those things, sort of like picking through the closet, like, oh, this doesn't fit me anymore. I don't need to go there anymore. I don't need to think about this anymore.
Yes, working old ground, everybody. Yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
absolutely.
So, hi, Nancy. Hi, Brenda.
Hi,
Good
Brenda.
to
Hi,
see you guys
Nancy.
on. Good
Hi,
to see
Donna.
everybody on. Hi, Donna. Oh, sorry, Miss Donna. So yeah,
Yeah.
so if you don't know how this works, because we can talk forever about the energy and what's going on out there, but we truly know why you're all here. So, and not that you're not here for some of that, but if you can give your date of birth, and if you have a question, and if we just see your date of birth, and because the date of birth is for Colleen, so that she can look at your astrological information, your astrology, I was going to say astrology chart, but it's not quite that in depth in the short time we have,
Yeah,
but so
no.
that you can look and see what's going on in your energy that way. And
Yeah.
then if you have a question, we certainly can stay focused for the question. If we just see your date of birth, then we'll just go for your highest and greatest, as you all can probably figure that out. So, with that being said, and I will probably repeat that just to let you all know, because there's still people coming on that may be new to us. So the first person that I'm drawn to, and again, I'm just like being drawn, just letting them guide me to somebody. So don't shoot the messenger or the picker. I guess in this case, I'd be the
The
picker.
picker is not us. It's spirit working through us, right?
It's just somebody, like, your name just kind of pops out at me. So Diana Gallagher is the first one, date of birth 5/1/57. I'm going to click on her so we can see
Okay.
her up and present. It said, would love a general look at my energy for the next few months.
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
we can do that. All right.
Sounds
Ooh,
good.
it's kind of funny. All of a sudden, I get this surge of energy as I start to kind of focus on you, Diana. And it's interesting because I feel like a lot of us, because I'm just going to put it that way, I'm feeling sort of this transition into the newness, like sort of this feeling of like just like kind of a little bit of what we said at the beginning, releasing the old, starting to focus on bringing and allowing new things to come into your life. There is a bit of a transition happening with you, meaning that I do think that you, especially when I go into sort of the work side of who you are, and then I almost feel like things kind of follow from there. So there's this feeling of possibly even like a literal move, but I think it's going to be still I want to say probably several months out, if not even to the beginning of the following year. So but there's this sort of like new line of feeling this newness coming to you, and sort of coming, it's funny, your head is so full of thoughts and processes, and not that you can't calm yourself down, but I'm just getting like this reeling head feeling from you. Like, I don't know if it's the energy of last year still sort of whirling around in there, or, you've got so many ideas that you can't think of which one you want to put out there first. What they're saying is they just want me to kind of get you to focus, like just kind of focus and pull the first thing. So it's something about writing for you, because I keep getting something regarding writing for you as well, coming forward for you, and just kind of helping to energize body, mind, and spirit, if that makes sense. There's also something about making sure that your feet stay on the earth and that you continue to move outside of yourself. Um, there's kind of also something about dealing with ancestral energy, like something about some of your maybe things. Oh, it's so funny. As I literally pull out the ancestor card, which is kind of interesting. Um, that was kind of cool. So kind of like not always putting yourself in that light of that, if that makes sense. Like sort of now working on, okay, this is me. This is who I am. Love you all. But I don't need to carry those thoughts, those feelings, those things. It's funny. I'm getting a lot of like childhood stuff from a lot of people, not just you, but from a lot of people too, where it's time to sort of like release those misconceptions. Like, it's so funny. The biggest thing that always comes to me is like they say, children should be seen and not heard. Yeah, right. Because that just sets us up for the rest of our life when we get into adulthood with it. I can be seen, but I can't speak. Like, I need to keep my mouth shut and not say anything. Yeah, well, as you can see, that didn't work for me. So, you know, just kind of taking a look at that and knowing that things are not always as they appear. meaning that the things that you're working on yourself, that you have reeling around yourself or moving through yourself, it might not always be yours. So start to ask yourself those questions like, do I really feel like this is me? Do I really feel like this is what I want? It really is a true time. A lot of people think we're selfish when we do that, but it really is a time for you. Oh my God, I'm talking so fast that my energy is so heightened. So if I start to spin out of control, somebody stop me, please. Uh,
Did
uh,
did you put your essential oil on to ground you before we started?
oh no, no, no! I'm grounded. I'm just like their spirits moving fast today. I
Yeah.
mean, like they're just grabbing, holding, going. So y'all better buckle up, buttercups, because here we go. But yeah, it's again just kind of like not always looking at things with face value when it comes to like your own personal work that you're doing. Again, not that you don't need to do your work because that is still part of your work, but not owning everything. Not owning everything and starting to kind of like look through what people have kind of either perceived you to be, want you to be. Now it's time to say, okay, you know what? I'm Diana, which by the way, look up the goddess Diana because she's amazing. Just gonna say that. She'll help to give you a little power there. She'll help you find, and again, I definitely do feel like you have a backbone, so that's not the point of it, but she'll help you to find your power and stay in your power for sure. And with that, I'm just going to pass it on to Colleen. Woo!
Okay. All right, Diana. Nice to see you here, Diana. So, Diana, you're, as you probably know, I'm sure I can't remember if I've done a reading recently for you or not, but your name is very familiar to me, so I know that I am connected to you here, at least on Facebook. Um, and forgive me if I've done a reading for you recently and that I just can't recall. But you're in a cycle of new beginnings, and so this is a whole new positive turn of the Wheel of Fortune. I didn't get the Wheel of Fortune card for you, but it reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune, which is like the wheel. The wheel is shifting for you in a positive direction. There's new beginnings, the initiation of new energies, and this has been it's been happening since your birthday, but it's been slow moving and slow going. But now the speed has been picked up. As of the beginning of this year, 2021, the speed of the energies that are unfolding, and perhaps you've felt the shift of energy already happening, is starting to pick up speed. I feel like this month of January, there's been some sort of focus on some relationship stuff for you and the balance of give and take, the balance of compromise, my needs versus other people's needs. And also stepping into your light worker abilities as well kind of comes up to the forefront, really stepping into your leadership potential, stepping into your authority energy and asserting it a little bit more, and asserting, they're talking about asserting your authority energy, not just in external circumstances like your career or your work or job or whatnot, but they're also talking about asserting your authority again a little bit more within interpersonal relationships that you're having, not in a negative way, not in an overly demanding or controlling way, but it seems like maybe you're needing to stand up for yourself in some way, shape, or form, or state your truth a little bit more clearly, or something like that is going on. They're talking about. As we move into February, I feel that there's a positive expansion taking place, an expansion in a positive way in some of these relationships that we're talking about, an expansion with your creative efforts, an expansion of blessings that could be coming in. They really talked about creativity. I got the whale here, which says new depths of creative energy here for you. So I feel like February is a time to expand your creative efforts, your creative gifts in some way. And in fact, one of the messages regarding this time of new beginnings for you is to really take action on what it is that you want to create, on what it is you want to experience. Again, you've been in this new beginning cycle since last March, but you're going to see January, February, March, April, that things are going to pick up speed for you in taking the actions, having the confidence, expanding yourself. And they're saying that even though, well, we'll get to the cycle that you're going into next in a minute. They're actually saying that whatever you're taking action on now and whatever you're creatively expanding into, you're going to see the fruits of your labor, or at least the beginning of the fruits of your labor in the fall, in the autumn time, which is typically the time of the harvest anyway. Now, to take a little bit of a shift, they're also giving me a message about releasing old soul patterns and contracts from this and previous lifetimes. When Kathi mentioned ancestors, I kind of giggled a little because as soon as she mentioned ancestors, I turned over a card. It was talking about family patterns, and old family memories from the past, and not just the biological family you grew up in, but this is the ancestral heritage and family. And what they were talking about as far as subconscious patterns or old soul contracts, with your family or with your spiritual family, meaning past lives, is that something about something about looking to the greatest possibilities that you can attain and be and do. Something about, like if you want to use the phrase, setting your sights higher, basically, to not accept less than what it is that you really want to experience in this lifetime. Doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter what you've been through, doesn't matter where you're at right now. It's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? What do you want to attain in your life? And really release those subconscious patterns that are holding you back in any way, shape, or form. Your belief systems, the thoughts that have crystallized in the cellular memory that you grew up in. And we all grow up with family patterns in some way, shape, or form, but really working on releasing those old patterns and those old belief systems so that you can attain what it is that you really desire in life, that you can move forward. Now, March is a time of transformation, as your basic question was about the next few months here. March is a time of inner transformation, I feel like, and maybe working through old lessons. That card I showed for the collective in the beginning of our video, Kathi and I, when it said working old ground, I feel like that comes up for you specifically in March. And then April, which is the month before your birthday and moving into a new cycle of energy, is going to have some changes. It's going to be like change. They're using the phrase change through challenge. So, whatever, it's like, I feel like whatever the challenges they're talking about, don't feel like it's overwhelming, but it's like push through the challenge and that will bring the change. And that change, that freedom energy, that redirection energy that comes in April will herald you into the next birthday cycle, which really talks about you, again, stepping into more of your light worker role, more of your leadership role, more of your intuitive capabilities, walking your truth, walking your spiritual path. And also, there seems to be, I'll say too, as a side note, a highlight of some relationship stuff that will be coming up in the next birthday year, to where, again, you want to surround yourself with people that there's empowerment and equality and fairness and justice, the balance and harmony between everyone, where there's not an imbalance, where there's not a disempowerment. So that's a little bit of a kind of a side note as far as what's coming up. Okay.
Nice. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna just kind of look. I as people are coming on. Hi, everybody. Just want to say hi, Belinda.
Everybody.
Hi, Nicole. Hi,
Hi,
Allison.
Belinda.
Hi,
Hi, Nicole.
Pamela. If I'm repeating your
Hi,
names, sorry.
everybody.
All right, so we have Nancy. Let me just make sure. McDermott. Just want to make sure it was the right Nancy that I focused on there while you were talking. Nancy McDermott. Oops, hang on. Wrong one. Wrong one. That one doesn't show her date of birth. 6/25/1955. My wedding anniversary. It's 6/25, not 1955, but 6/25. That's kind of
Okay.
interesting. Anyway,
All right.
anyway, Nancy, to give Colleen a chance to focus on, your energy and your information. I was already focused on you because your name sort of stuck out to me. What I was getting is that this is definitely a time for movement. It's interesting because what came into my mind, which is, I'm even going to show you, which because it actually ended up coming up. Colleen was talking about how the full moon is coming in on
Yeah.
Thursday, and completion felt really interesting because movement came first, like movement to completion is the feeling that I get from that. And just, starting to really kind of let go of old pasts. I just can already see the tagline that's going to be tonight. That sort of synchronicity with why all of you are on here tonight at the same time. But again, this movement of flowing like a river, like just allowing yourself to appreciate the stillness if you're in stillness at this point in time, or that time to just step back and breathe and just be for a minute. Like just kind of have that. And it's funny because I feel as though like you have a lot of energy flowing around you, like a lot of swirling energy around you, and that it's time for you to just kind of say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to just be for a minute. I'm just going to be for a minute and focus on what I need to focus on. That's like just right here at the face value of what I need to look at. And not, and allowing yourself not to be overwhelmed by everything else going on outside of yourself. Just step back for a minute, take a minute. I feel like this is your time that we're going into. So, this sort of rolling ball of energy until your birthday comes in June. And again, I'm not the astrologist, so I'm just going to say that I just kind of go with what I get. But there is going to be this sort of ending and completion, but in a very positive way. And what that I see doing is opening up a whole new doorway for you of new things coming, new energies coming, new enlightenment coming for you. And I'm not sure, I keep seeing Mother Mary for some reason. Like I keep seeing roses and Mother Mary, and I actually can smell her as I'm focused on your energy, which means the roses, just so you know. So I can explain that because that sounds kind of funny. But but it's interesting. So I don't know if you know that she's around you, but there's like this unfoldment that's happening around you. If you think of a rose with all of those beautiful petals, and if you get a long stem rose, sometimes they come closed where it's just the bud, and then as you put them in water, they start to open up, and that's what they keep showing me is you opening up to this newness, this lightness, this sort of releasing that's already in the process of happening for you and possibly to you. So I'll just say that just stand still and let it all fall away, because that's what I keep feeling is just keep breathing, get yourself out on the earth, definitely start allowing yourself to pamper yourself a little bit. So if it's energy work that speaks to you, or a massage that speaks to you, or going and having your nails done, again, whatever it is, allow yourself to take that time to sort of just be with you. Just be with you and really get to know you, because through that is going to come the celebration. Through you focusing on yourself and allowing yourself to be who you truly are, I see a big celebration of that, and sort of this new path and this new excitement. But I feel like where the new path is going. So it's something that's already in the process of happening. And I know that you're excited, because as I even say that, I get excited. So your energy must be excited about that, whatever this new avenue in your life is happening. And that just remembering that, when you stand in your power, it's so funny. You're definitely in a transformation, because I just looked down and there's like a snake on the table. So that's just the one that's pulling me out. And kind of like also releasing, just kind of releasing those thoughts that just don't fit for you. Releasing those things that are just not working for you. People, places, and things that are just not, you're not connected to them anymore. And it's okay. Especially if it's friends or family members or, coworkers. Let them go on their path, let them go and do them, and you just now focus on doing you, because I feel so much joy in your energy. Like you're finding yourself, you're on that path of finding yourself, you're on that path of creativity, you're on that path of starting something new, and it's going to be amazing. The more you keep moving towards whatever goal it is that you have set for yourself, and manifest, this Thursday on that full moon, I would manifest on that full moon.
Oh,
The
yeah.
beautiful things that you want to come for you, because we are in such a power time. And that's the energy that I feel. That we want to definitely keep that high, wonderful vibration around us, that happiness of joy and vibration. And it's interesting because what they want me to show you is this dance card. Like, kind of keep this visual with you, that, keep that dancing energy around you and that joyous energy around you. The other thing that came up, and even I don't want you to really read what this says, but this is really speaking to me, is that you have a lot of signs, synchronistic signs that are happening around you. And everybody, every time I see a feather, it always reminds me of somebody in spirit trying to connect with you, whether it be your mom, your dad, friend, loved one. I just keep getting that you're getting signs and messages from them, that they're really supporting this transition that's coming for you. And that's happening to you, even in this moment. It's happening because I keep hearing that over and over again. So with that, I'm just going to send it on to Colleen.
Well, I have to concur with that last message, because as soon as you were talking about the feathers and the communication or the connection from loved ones on the other side, the very card I chose at that time was clouds. And you can see here, this has the same similar feeling here that there's someone here in spirit that is really wanting you to know that they're with you, they love you, you're not alone, they're connecting with you, they're guiding you, they're helping you. So whoever that might be, I didn't quite have the time to tune in to see any further messages from that person or who that might be, but that's a definite, and I feel like it's definitely like it's a very nurturing, mothering, feminine kind of energy to me. And
I
the
already knew where you
first,
were going to go, and I'm already nodding my head.
okay, well, and go ahead, Kathi, if you want to interject something about
No,
that.
no, 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 no. I already knew you were going to go there. I already knew because when I said mother, oh my gosh,
Mother,
just went right out of my head. Mother Mary. Sorry, I think I was like, what? What did I just say?
yeah.
When I said Mother Mary, I was like, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was
Well,
getting very strongly.
and part of your energy, Nancy, is kind of being
Hmm.
the mother energy. Like you're a Cancer, right? You know, June 25th is moving into the sign of Cancer. And not only that, but the energy, your soul energy that you come in with is that of the great mother and the great nurturer, the one who's here with high intuitive abilities and high healing abilities and high service to other people abilities. Like you're all just about being of service too and being that divine feminine kind of incarnate. So that's really a part of your beingness. Now, the energy you're in right now for the next few months, the birthday energy cycle you're in, is one of empowerment. And it's one of you really expanding into your power and making changes and redirections in your life as necessary to move you more into that power. Now, this could be into your spiritual power, but this could also translate to career path, life path, destiny path. So if you're not in alignment with your truth and what you're doing out in the world, I don't know if you're still in a job or a career, but if it's not that the energy that allows you to emanate the truth of who you are, I really feel like expanding into a possible redirection here. And February is a time of new beginnings for you, but it might not materialize until March, they're saying. So just think that the new beginning first is on a mental level, meaning it's an idea, it's a vision of where it is you want to go next. In fact, I got the Ace of Air for you, which is the beginning of a new way of thinking, a beginning of a new thought or perception. And they were also saying, as far as this mental body stuff, because again, you're a Cancer, you're all about the emotional body and the emotions. And one thing they wanted to say to you is honor your emotions. Don't, if you're an emotional Cancer person and the emotions are part of who you are, so honor those emotions. And at the same time, don't allow the mental body, the thoughts and the perceptions, negate the truth of the beauty that you are. So don't allow any disharmony, don't allow any conflicting thoughts kind of to come in there, basically. They were showing a door opening, and this door opening is meant for you to walk through and step through to step even more into your spiritual gifts, talents, and abilities. Because, for one, I got the Priestess card for you. So, high intuitive abilities that I feel like are going to get even stronger for you, that you're supposed to be, merging with that idea of that priestess energy within. The other card that came up more than once from two different decks was the Magician card. In this deck, it's called Awareness. But the Magician is also very magical with a lot of intuitive gifts. You can see that his crown chakra here is highlighted. So again, you're getting divine information and knowledge from other realms that are coming in. Now, here's the other Magician card, just so that you can see. This is the Fox, blessings, magic, magician, magic. So you have a lot of magical energies surrounding you right now, with you walking through this doorway. I have to say that they gave me an animal totem for February, which was the owl. So I felt like with the owl for February, you were needing to kind of do some self-reflection, meditation, connecting with your inner wisdom, your inner guidance, your higher soul self. So kind of allow yourself to go on that journey in February, connecting with that owl medicine. And the last thing that came in, I have to say, was something about, again, they're showing the water. Of course, you're a Cancer water sign, but there was something about, let me try to, something about water amplifying sound. So I feel like, well, going back to the reminding me that Kathi said this full moon coming up for you. So full moons are very important to you. I would definitely get out if you can near some water. And if you can't because of the weather, then you can do it in home near water, or have, take a bath, and have your kind of ceremony of intentions, because the water is going to help to magnify your intentions. But even beyond the water and the ceremony, there was something about like the ancient elders of the ocean. So I feel like, not only is that owl a totem for you, but so is like the whale. Something about the ancient, energy or mystical energy of the whale. And I don't even know what the whale totem is. I mean, usually I know certain animal totems because I deal with them a lot, but I don't know what the whale is specifically. And Kathi, I think, is probably grabbing her book to look that up, because that might be helpful for you. So we'll see what Kathi has to say about that.
Yes, you know me so well because I always animals come to me all the time, and
Here's your
there's so
whale.
many.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice, nice. Hang on. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. All right. It says, express yourself through your voice by singing, humming, or chanting simply for the pure joy of doing so. It's an especially creative time for you, so immerse yourself in the process and enjoy artistic expression. That's the big one that I kind of got for you, and your voice.
Yeah.
Artistic expression or of whatever emerges from the depth of your imagination. I love how you have Elmo because it so speaks to exactly what we're telling you. Did you see her picture? It's like Elmo and I think is it Bob the Builder maybe. Can't even believe I still remember them both, but I do. So yeah. So carry on, my friend. Carry on, Nancy. All right. And hang on because she just scrolled up the other way. So I got to grab her. Next one is Brenda Linnell, 7/21/56. It says, how is my year looking? It's kind of funny because some of the things that Colleen was saying towards the end of the last person's reading was
Mm-hmm.
Nancy's reading was sticking out to me. Because I got similar things for you as well. There
Okay.
is this thing about transformation and rebirth, Brenda, that keeps coming up. And trust me, I have 3 different decks, probably even 4 different decks of different cards on my table. And they came up in almost every single deck that I pulled was about rebirth and transformation and freedom, which is a good one, and finding inner peace. There's something about you connecting with water and the ocean and trying to get near. And of course, I know we've been in quarantine. It's been somewhat difficult for some of us, or pretty much all of us in some certain way or shape or form. So it's definitely a year to start planning to go near the ocean. I know that it's one of your joy places because I do have to say that I do know Brenda. Um, there's also this really listening with clarity to those that are around. It's funny because they keep showing me family. So the family that's around you, like there's something about really listening and allowing it to just process for you. Like there's not a comment needed, I guess is what I want to say, but just kind of really listening to that. And also allowing that, when it comes through your communication to just be totally honest, which I don't think I've ever known you not to be, so I'm just going to say that. But there is this freedom piece that keeps bringing me back, and so much earth, getting out on the earth. Like every card I look at has earth in it in some way. The ocean, whether it's trees, whether it's butterflies, whether it's birds, because there's a great bird. I love this freedom card. It keeps drawing me in, so I'm just going to show it. the freedom card, look at all those birds. Birds are usually about messages for me because they can be messengers, at least in this particular card. They can be messengers as well. So it's like really listening to the universe and starting to really pay attention. Your awareness is also has gotten even more heightened since you've sort of been going through this time that we've been in, because that's the other thing that I keep getting is that your gift is being heightened as well, and that there is this connection with animals that's coming really big and present with that. um and it's kind of funny because I know you have a dog, so I'm going to say that, but there's something about a connection to a wolf because they keep showing me wolf. Like, I don't know if you've seen a wolf in your backyard or the wolf has come, prevalent in your backyard. I just feel like there's been a connection there. But there's also a connection, like Colleen was saying about the totem animal, because they're showing a wolf so much in my head that I just need to say that out loud. And also allowing yourself to sort of like, you know, be with you, be at peace wherever you are, be at peace with the choices that you're making, carry peace within yourself. And um,
Hmm.
there's something about a move coming for you as far as it's interesting because I don't feel like it's a stationary move. So I don't know if it kind of makes me feel like a cottage by the water kind of thing, to where like you may find a place that either you can just rent a lot or you might end up owning it. And so that you can, come and go as you want. So you can spend the whole summer there, that kind of a feeling. There's this very much back and forward thing to where you might spend a lot of your time there at a certain period of time or every other weekend, but there is definitely this kind of interesting movement and new place with you. And I definitely know you're around water. So whether it's an ocean or a lake, I definitely want to say it's an ocean because that's what I keep seeing for you as well. There's also about a shift in your ancestors, something happening with a shift in your ancestors. Um,
Sorry.
Well, it is what it is, isn't it, Colleen? Um, and sort of healing from that, like really healing from that. Like I don't know if a lot of things have come up and really kind of smacked you in the face about memories from things that you haven't remembered in a really long time, because that's what I keep feeling like stuff coming up. Like memories coming up and you trying to push them down, or I've worked on that. I'm letting that go, those kinds of things. But there's that feeling of like just taking a minute and looking at it and really trying to understand what's happening and what's going on for you. All of it is going to be great outcome, because I want to say that. I feel like all of this work will not be in vain, is the feeling that I'm getting. And there's something about an opportunity of you possibly going into a co-ownership feeling. And I'm going to lean into the camera and say, don't do that. So I don't know if somebody's going to ask you to help build another building. Don't do that because it's not a good time. So I'm just going to say that right up front, because that's kind of pretty clear here. So yeah, not at this time. Maybe at another time. I'm not saying no forever. I just dropped a card on the floor. But however, right now, not a good time. Not a good time for that. So with that, I'm just going to pass it on to Colleen.
Oh, Brenda. Strong, strong energy you come in with, I tell you. They're showing me that your soul's energy has had to have patience in this lifetime, that wonderful P word that we all love to hear. Patience in this lifetime to expand and create what it is that you're here to expand and create, both on a personal soul growth level as well as
Mm.
a larger level of who am I out in the world and what am I supposed to be doing. You're right on the cusp of Leo. So I don't know if you're very, very late Cancer or you're very, very early Leo, but some of the energies that I felt coming in for you felt like a lot of that creative Leo energy. And then the first message, one of the first messages that I heard was, in what it is that you are desiring and aspiring towards creating in your life, again, have that patience, because your soul in part chose to learn about patience by choosing to be on this third dimensional earth plane this time around. And I say that, and I'm not saying that you haven't been on the earth before, because you probably that you have, but your soul, and I was laughing when Kathi said the word ancestors, because when she brought up ancestors, they were showing me that you were from the stars. The star ancestors is what they said to me as far as a phrase. So I feel like you come from other times, other places, other dimensions, and you're not quite used to operating on the third dimensional earth plane of how we think about and experience time. And so for you, it's like, creation should happen instantaneously. And unfortunately, here on this planet, it does not. So your star ancestors are assisting you and helping you. And then they were showing me a past lifetime that you did have on the earth plane, that you were like what they called a white witch. So you're very
Oh,
magical, powerful energy as this white witch, meaning light worker, basically, in our modern terms. So, as a light worker, what is it that you're here to create? What do you want to create? I know this isn't really a message about how your year is looking, but this is what they were showing me. They were showing me that there's either currently or in the not so distant past that you went through or are going through some sort of dark night of the soul kind of energy. But they were saying that by this summer that you're going to be able to break free, and there's going to be new opportunities that are going to come in that allow you to move forward. I have to say that April and May is kind of endings and new beginnings for you in this year. And actually, you're in a birthday year that does deal with change and redirection and freedom. I feel like, though, for 2020, from your birthday in July of 2020 up until the end of 2020, it might have been a little slow moving and slow going, whereas like fighting against the tide for changes and movement to occur. But I feel like that, just like someone previous that we read for, I feel like that's going to pick up speed for you now. January through your birthday in July, things start to unfold a little bit more rapidly. You start to see growth. They were talking about whatever it was that you are or have moved through, that you had to have a lot of strength and inner reserve or resolve, I guess is the better word. And that new opportunities, I got the world card here for you. Now, this isn't a traditional tarot, but I always think of the tarot when I see this particular card in this deck. And the world card often means a completion of some sort so that we can have a successful new beginning with new opportunities on the outer world level. In other words, career path, life path, destiny path. Where do you want to go next? What do you want to do? And I feel like, again, you're kind of being freed from, in fact, they're saying you're being freed from old, again, just like another previous person, the old soul contracts, the old subconscious patterns. I feel like a lot of us, on the collective level, are being freed from old soul contracts and whatnot. So they're talking about releasing those and letting those go and really moving into these new opportunities that are on the way. If I were going to look at, because they mentioned the summertime, let me just kind of tune in for a second as far as the summer months would be. June, July, August, June, July, specifically June and July, feels very expansive and empowering and moving forward for you in a positive way. They did say to listen to the messages that Spirit is giving you, because there's going to be messages coming to you, and these messages or information that's coming to you is going to assist in opening the doors to like magical realms or magical opportunities or whatever have you. The last thing, and I'm going to actually show you the card. Well, actually, there's two things. One was that there was some loved ones in spirit on the spirit plane. They seem to be coming in quite strongly for this this session that Kathi and I are having with everybody. But there was some loved ones from spirit that are coming in to assist you and help you, guide you, let you know that they're there, they're happy, they're helping you, etc. The last card, it was funny because I pulled this as a last card and I knew that Kathi was winding up and going to hand it over to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm putting it back in the deck. And I decided to shuffle and pull another card from that deck, and it was the same exact card. So it must have a, definite meaning for you. And it says surrender to the sweetness. It says Venus energy, pleasure, joy, and it does say make love to life. Now, the energy you come in with as a soul, it's about work, focus, effort, determination, perseverance, and patience. And so to me, this message is saying you're not having enough fun. You're needing to really look at the blessings in your life, have more fun in life, see the beauty in life, really make an effort to enjoy yourself, to do things that bring you joy, do things to connect with people that help to support you, that you can feel that mutual love and trust. You know, the Venus energy, Venus is the planet of blessings. And so really kind of call in Venus, just like we call in, you know, an archangel or an ascended master. You can call in the Venus energy, Venus Aphrodite, because she's known as the planet of blessings, and ask her to bring you people, places, situations, and circumstances that will bring in blessings into your life, that you can have more fun and enjoy yourself more, because you need to balance work with play. And I have a feeling that you might feel sometimes that life is, you know, too much about work and details and things we have to do and get done, and you know, the serious side of life. So we need to, in order to create, and if you are into that Leo energy, you need to have fun and feel joy in order for the creative juices to flow and expand. So that's, oh, by the way, you did get a lion too, and that is Leo. So I do definitely think that there's some Leo energy there for you. Okay, that's it.
Beautiful. Nice. So we have Kiki, July 2nd, 1981, who is looking to please some guidance in my job and a possibility of travel. You know, it's interesting because I know you're another July baby, so I'm just going to say that, which is kind of funny how I guess July is just sticking out to me today for some reason. Really, it's you, it's not so much the birthday part. You know, there's this creative, amazing energy that you have with you. And, you know, your job, I feel like, I kind of want to tell you to go out on a limb, like sort of, you know, either zhuzh it up, recreate, um, you know, if there's something, it's not that you're not good at it, because I don't feel that. I don't feel like that's a whole brand new job change. I feel like it's just taking what you know and the creativity piece that you know and kind of expanding on it and really taking yourself out of the box and really starting to look. I will tell you, travel came for you because I'm just gonna kind of go to the end and work my way back, which I think is interesting. But travel came, but I don't feel like it's going to be until later in the year. I want to say maybe, and it's funny because Colleen gave the times when I was actually focused on that, which I thought was funny. It's going to be around the summertime. Like I want to say August in particular is what really stuck out to me, like somewhere around August time. So, but there's this, but a whole new rejuvenation it feels like a rebirth and a reconnection, and like, you know, breaking, I know we've said this through everyone, but it keeps coming up. So karmic ties, you know, karmic ties to things that are sort of holding you back, um keeping you sort of somewhat, because I'm just going to say, because I feel like you've done work on that, because I can truly feel like you've done work on that, but somewhat keeping you still held back a little bit, and just allowing yourself. It's so funny because you have fairies on the table, and when fairies come out, it's like you have got to take that persona on. Not doesn't mean that for everybody, but I almost feel like you want to become a fairy, to where you want to like go and take pictures of exciting things and record exciting things. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm wondering if like either you are in that recording, picture taking, you know, that kind of a line of work, because now it's got my piqued my interest a little bit. Right now it feels kind of like you're a little stationary. I don't want to say stuck, because that's not it, because you're still evolving and moving and growing. And I also feel like there's something about a new relationship happening. So whether even if you've been married for a while, maybe you're rejuvenating that, because that's what it feels like to me. It feels like those flowers are opening again, like there's this respect or continued excel in the love aspect of your life, and just trusting and believing that success is going to come from you. It's going to take a little more tweaking and fine tuning before you get to that part to where you're like, oh my God, I'm in it now. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. You know, that kind of a feeling, and sort of that sort of feeling of like, okay, do I do this or do I do this? Like, I want to switch something, but is it this or is it this? I want to change a little something, but is it that or is it that? It will make sense. Like, keep sort of like not forgetting that, but don't get yourself stuck in that like seesaw feeling to where, do I do this or do I do this? Like, don't get too stuck on that or stuck in that. Allow yourself to give it a minute. let the concept kind of come through your mind and go down into your heart and just kind of let it resonate and kind of get to that place to where you're like, oh my gosh, I so get it now. Like now I know what I'm going to do. Because that's how I feel like the flow is going to happen for you, where ideas will come and exciting new things will come, but it's just going to take a minute for you to sort of like allow it to really make sense and start to really activate for yourself. And there's also this thing that I really want to say this to you, like through your piece of finding who you are and standing in your beautiful self of who you are, is when that power is really going to come to where your job is going to make sense, your movement is going to make sense, the flowingness of traveling is going to make sense. It's all going to make sense. And I will tell you, going into next year, you are just go, 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 going. So this quiet time that you're having right now, I want to tell you, enjoy it. Just enjoy it, because I feel like your life is going to pick up speed by the time your next birthday comes, of this year, I mean. And you're just going to be moving and grooving all the way through next year. So Colleen's the astrologist, not me, but this is just what I'm kind of getting. There's also this beautiful scenery that they keep showing me. Like, I don't know if it's Hawaii or if it's a place that maybe just might energetically feel and look like Hawaii, but there's something about you going there and being there. Like, it could be part of the rainforest. It could be, again, there's so many places that kind of that can look like Hawaii. So just allow yourself to be open to that. I think it's going to be in a very, 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 very exciting time for you. I'm just looking real quick just because I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. And spirit is definitely, this is major divine timing. Major, major, major divine timing, to where just about the time you're like, oh, this isn't going to happen, it's going to click in and it's going to go like gangbusters. So be really aware of that. And with that, I'm just going to pass it on to Colleen.
Okay. So, let me see, where do I want to start? I felt like I was really trying to focus in on the work, because your question specifically was about guidance and job, and the travel piece, I will just kind of say, didn't come up a lot, except for, I agree with Kathi. I feel like it's going to be a little bit later on, because you're in a cycle right now of energy that deals with kind of slow, thoughtful, patient movement. So there wasn't, this is kind of like an internal transformation kind of year for you, and a year where part of this transformation is regarding your mental body and how you're thinking and how you're perceiving and what your belief systems are regarding who you are and what you can and cannot do, or what you desire and don't desire and whatnot. So this slow, patient movement is kind of needed, because when you get into your next birthday year cycle, which is again as of July of this year, this is when, just like Kathi said, things are going to really pick up speed. Like Kathi said, enjoy the slow movement kind of pace now, because after July, I feel like things may start to feel more like a roller coaster in comparison. And there's going to be a lot more changes and redirections that occur in that next birthday cycle. And it's after your birthday, and in that cycle of change and redirection and freedom and movement and new opportunities, which is what that next year is all going to be about for you. I feel like that's when the travel piece would come in. And I agree, Kathi mentioned August. And I feel like that is probably right on point. I can see August being a time of potentially enjoying yourself more, seeing the beauty or feeling the beauty of life, and just really getting out there. And as a side note, by the way, they want you to not necessarily wait till you're able to travel to enjoy the beauty of life, because they did show me like you needing to get out in nature. And again, I don't know where you live, Kiki, so I don't know if it's the dead of winter and cold and snowy out, but when you are able, I feel like getting out in nature and enjoying yourself and connecting with the trees and the water and the flowers or whatnot. Do what you can to connect in that way until you're able to kind of take that travel and that move. So coming back to the work thing, I felt like they were showing me that there was certain, maybe some power and control stuff at work going on, or feel a feeling of being not free to express yourself, or not being able to expand and move up, or in the company or wherever it is you're working. Just felt like there was like this resistance and this kind of being underneath someone's thumb kind of energy going on, and whether that's just you specifically or in general where you're working, if that's the feeling. But I felt like there was maybe some toxic patterns going on there. They did give me the power card in regards to work. So I feel like this is you needing to
Mm.
empower yourself to shift into your own sense of self-confidence and self-empowerment at work. They did say there was going to be decisions that you need to make coming up, choices that you need to make coming up within the job. And they did say, though, to have patience, because I don't think it's going to happen right away. But I think you need to kind of find some alone time in meditation and contemplation, maybe during this full moon in Leo. The full moon coming up Thursday is in Leo. So perhaps doing some sort of a visualization meditation where you're putting out your vision and intentions of what it is that you do want to experience in your job and in work, and not putting parameters on it as far as having it be within the job that you're currently in, or be with the certain people that you're working with. Just in general, see that you're working amongst people that support you, that admire you, that recognize you for who you are, that empower you. Visualize those kind of things. Visualize the end result of what you want the job to give you. You want to feel passionate about it. You want to have fun at work if that's part of it. You want to be able to, be financially sustaining in whatever job you're working. So visualize and put out there during the full moon those kind of things. And I feel like they were giving me the phrase or idea that justice is in the works. So whatever's going on with the job that may not be in balance with what you want to experience, they said the spiritual powers of justice are at work, meaning that it's going to come out in your favor, that something's going on behind the scenes. Again, feel like it might not be right away. And in fact, they're showing maybe like May or June, which is right before your next birthday, before things maybe change. Because they're showing May as a time of endings and completion in some way, and June is a time of new beginnings. Actually, June is both endings and new beginnings all wrapped up into one. And they said, stay balanced until then. And they said, also look at whatever's going on in the job, look at your subconscious patterns, beliefs, and perceptions within yourself, and how is that relating to what's going on in the job or the workplace? How is the situation reflecting to you anything that you might need to learn, anything that you might need to heal? Because I felt like they were showing like something in regards to soul patterns or subconscious patterns that needs to be healed within you. And I feel like you're in the job situation that you're in because it's reflecting something to you that you need to understand and heal in some way, shape, or form. They're saying, remember who you are, awaken to the truth of who you are, and don't allow old patterns of feeling rejected or whatever it might be to come into play. Good things are on the way. They did show changes on the way, good, positive messages coming in regards to the change in the job. They were showing a gift being offered you and handed you. So in the meantime, just have patience and have balance. Look at the higher perspective of, again, what's this occurring for? What is this giving me certain gifts or strengths? Am I learning something? Am I, what is this whole situation about? So look at it from a higher perspective. And they said also, they gave me a phrase. Let me see if I can get it back. Be the light, something about being the light within the situation. So instead of emanating back what you might be, whatever somebody might be projecting at you, or whatever the energy in the job situation is all about, be the light, be the light bearer, and project love and light out. And that will, change and shift the energy so that it's coming back to you, if that makes any sense. Okay, that's all I got.
Gotcha. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So for those of you that just came in, because I see that somebody is asking what we're doing, so we are doing live readings, but we actually are at the end of doing our live readings because we popped on for an hour, Colleen and myself, to do some live readings, and just by choosing people out of the list randomly, answering their questions, hopefully giving them insight and positivity to move on in their daily life, we hope. So that's kind of what we were doing, for those of you that were asking that question. And
we do come
certainly
on
we'll be
every
back.
Tuesday. Don't forget. We will be back. You know, this isn't just a one-time deal. We've been doing this
Right.
every week. Currently, it's every week Tuesdays from 5:30 to 6:30 Eastern time, and we are live streaming on both Facebook and YouTube. So some of the new people might be actually coming in from the YouTube stream, which is exciting.
Yes, and thanks G. Duncan Jr. for letting me know that we were still being seen. I really appreciate that. So many blessings to all of you for the week, for sure. You can reach out to us through Empowered Voices on our Facebook page. You know, if you have any messages that you'd like to send us, enlightenment, of course, always, questions, comments, concerns, we are open to that. And also we have our email, which is empoweredvoices11@gmail.com. So feel free to reach out to us through there. Many blessings to all of you for the week, and we'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same place.
Blessings.
Bye, guys.